Hello everyone, it's Justine. Today I get to make a beautiful card using the Floral Butterfly card front. And this is the small die of the month from Spellbinders for March 2022. And it is so pretty. So I had to go ahead and pull out some of my silver mirrored cardstock for this card because I just thought that the lacy part of the die would look so pretty with some silver. So let's just check out the die before we jump into the card. So there's this main piece which makes the top and bottom of the card front. I was a little confused at first because I thought, well, how does it make the top and bottom? But you just die cut it out twice and then it leaves you with this onion shape again. It reminds me of the clear stamp of the month, so perhaps you could add in that clear stamp of the month to the center of this. That would be really neat. But it's that onion shape again. Anyway, then to make the actual butterflies that go on top of this piece, you use the large piece and the small piece to make the bottom. And then, of course, there's the body. Then to add the kind of interest pieces of the wings like this, you use the long and short little flower area, and then you would get to die cut out a whole bunch of these flowers. So I will mention as well, for these wing pieces, there's directional sides. So one is for the right side, one is for the left side. And then you can use these little circles that can go in the center of flowers, but I am going to use these rhinestones today because I love bling. So we're just gonna do that. And then it does come with a sentiment, and it is just because. That is the whole small die of the month for March, and I'll just quickly pick that up with my glimmer picker-upper, and we can go ahead and start making some beautiful things with this set. So as you know, I love black if you've watched some of my videos, and I think black and yellow, like this, especially this pale yellow with white, is just really pretty. So I chose to use that. To start with, I put the black paper on a card base. It is the A2 sized card base, so that is 4 1/4 by 5 1/2. Then I'm going to go ahead and use some Verily Art liquid glue and just glue on my silver mirror cardstock to my card front here. And since this mirror cardstock is just a little slippery, I will probably use one of my little trays to set on top of it so it stays put and has some pressure as the glue has a minute to kind of set and kind of stay into place. But because this is a really intricate die, I think that this would be a good die to use that sticky paper, or like that sticker adhesive page sheets. I don't know exactly what they're called, but I saw a couple of people using them, but instead of using glue, it kind of turns it into a sticker. So I think that would be really easy to do with something like this, or if you had one of those like fluffier paintbrushes, you can use some glue and use a paintbrush too. So I don't know, I guess I'll just stick with the fine tip nozzle on the glue bottle for now, but it's seeming to work out pretty good. I hope everyone's doing well. Right now I moved craft rooms in my house, and the sun is actually shining on my arm. I don't know, it's not on camera, but maybe as the video progresses the sun will move, but I am sitting in the sun right now, and I don't know, to me it is just, it's a huge deal. It was kind of a trying December. There's always something to be thankful for, I will just note that, but I spent a lot of time in the basement at work in December and November in general, and now that I am back in my regular classroom, which is still in the basement, but I have huge windows in my classroom, and I am just loving the sun. It's been so nice just to enjoy the warmth from the sunshine, even if it is super cold out here in Minnesota, that sunshine is like gold. But I digress. I'm just loving it. I'm so ready for spring. And a lot of the collections from Spellbinders that are coming out here are springy, and I am just loving it. This butterfly is an example of the springy look that I am talking about. So I will just adhere this onto the bottom here, and I will put together this other butterfly on camera. If you are interested, you can watch it, or if not, you can just skip ahead if you're not interested. But it's up to you. Then, of course, the body is going to go in the middle, and I'm going to use my reverse tweezers to stick that on. Oh, that is really delicate and pretty. Wow. I think this die would look really nice in any color combination, especially some of those pinks, purples. My students always ask me, Mrs. Dvorak, what's your favorite color? They love colors, and they love yellow this year. Seems to be the color that the kids like, but I always answer, my favorite color is pink, purple, and blue. And then I make cards like this, and I think, you know, I do like yellow and do love black. I think I just like all the colors. Who knows? My students are just so stinking cute. Anyway, back to the butterfly. We have these two pieces that kind of mirror each other, so the wings are symmetrical, and you could die cut those out in green paper to have like a green flower moment there, or white cardstock and color the paper your own colors with some Copic markers. It's kind of up to you what you want to do, but I don't know. To me, there's not a lot of rules in card making. Make something fun, make it yours, and if you don't think you're creative enough to make something like your own, try copying some other card ideas or sketches. If you're new to card making and you want to copy this card, please go ahead, try it, and craft along with me as I assemble this card, and get comfortable with your materials, your supplies, and just make some art and have fun along the way. Putting the body on again, and then the flowers for the wings. Now, if you can see on the other butterfly there, I chose to offset the wings, or offset the flowers on the wings just a little bit, so the black still shows through behind the flowers, and I do that almost every time I add flowers like this on a card, just because I like the fullness of the flowers in general. So I'll show you what I mean here. You see how the flower has that chunkier petal down here, and that chunkier petal is on my left side of my gem picker. Instead of putting it right on the top and losing that black, I'm just going to turn it just ever slightly so you can still see the black behind it, and it's not covering it up completely. Again, I do that for fullness. Plus, it makes quick assemblies because you don't have to sit there and fuss around with what direction the petals have to go in. But if you are a fusser, which is just fine, I would definitely recommend some of Susan Tierney Cockburn's realistic flowers, and I'm going to have some more of her dies to play with here on my channel later this month, because there's another collection coming out. You can see the sneak peek on the Spellbinders website already, and oh my goodness, they're so pretty. So the last time I used part of her collection, I just fell in love with my Copic markers kind of all over again. I know, kind of dramatic, but it's really fun to die cut out on white paper and color with Copic markers to make realistic flowers. It just works. So if you're interested in the realistic flowers, subscribe to my channel and pop on back later this month to see some more. Okay, so I did die cut out some black flowers because I wasn't sure if I wanted to use them or not, but I haven't quite decided. So first I'm going to put on my sentiment just because. Now I could turn it like this and have it be kind of offset. I could have it going on top of each other, but I think I like this style best, so I'm going to go with that. To adhere it on, I am going to use the pouncing method. So I'm just going to grab some scratch paper here and do that. If you don't know, the pouncing method is you put glue down like so on some scratch paper, and you either can take your fingers or reverse tweezers like this, and you just simply pounce the paper on top just so there's enough glue, and it does coat the back really nicely. I am going to use the black flowers. I have now decided that in a couple seconds. I talked about it last, but I'm going to pull out my foam. Where did I put that? I will have it linked in the description, but basically it's this foam pad and some other really handy tools, especially these balls that kind of connect into a tool-in-one here. But basically you round the flowers. So I'm going to do that to these black flowers just to give a little bit of dimension to them. It's really quick and easy. I'm going to use the large ball. It seems that worked really well. But you just use this black foam and kind of make a circular motion, and it puts even pressure on the petals so they have dimension without folding and bending the flowers too much. And it looks like I have 6 of them, so I know it's an even number, but I also have 2 butterflies, so this just must be an even Steven kind of card. And to finish off these flowers, I am going to brush them with a little bit of a wink of Stella and some rhinestones, like the flowers that are on the wings of the butterfly. As I finish up this card, I will just briefly talk about some other things that I have going on my YouTube channel. I will be posting a video for the small die of the month, the large die, the stitch die, the card kit of the month, the glimmer, and this small die. And I will be incorporating the embossing folders of the month into my cards as well. And speaking of the card kit videos, I will be posting a process video on my channel of how I use a card kit and show you my process. So if you're interested in anything like that, go ahead over to my channel and you can go ahead and subscribe, and you will be notified when I post content, and you can check out other cards that I make with the Spellbinders clubs. I will have this die linked in the description, as well as a link to the Q&A page from the Spellbinders clubs. It really answers a whole bunch of questions, but if you have other questions that are just kind of on your mind about Spellbinders or the clubs or anything like that, let me know in the comments and I'll try to get back to you as soon as I can. Anyway, I'd love to know your thoughts on this die and the clubs in general for this month, so leave me a comment and let me know what you're thinking. Thank you so much for watching all the way to the end, and I hope that you have liked this card. Thanks for watching again. Bye!